Hello, and welcome to this overview of the University of Queensland Ochsner Doctor of Medicine program. I'm Dr. Marlon Joseph, Admissions and Enrollment Officer and General Practice Clerkship Director.
And hello, I am Sue Burross, Director of Enrollment Management. In this session, we'll provide you with an overview of our unique MD program as well as walk you through our entry requirements. Firstly, though, over to you, Dr. Joseph.
Thank you, Sue. So, the University of Queensland and Ochsner MD program is a partnership on two continents with two institutions, one in Australia on the eastern coast, the University of Queensland, of course, and then the Ochsner Health system, which is located in the state of Louisiana in the Gulf. The University of Queensland is a top 50 global university, which comprises 5 faculties that encompasses 30 plus research and teaching sites, as well as 8 research institutes. Over in Louisiana, Ochsner Health System is the largest employer in the state of Louisiana and consists of 46 hospitals and 370 health centers, over 4,700 employees and affiliated physicians, as well as 90 medical specialties, and is also ranked the #1 hospital in the state of Louisiana. So our program details. The program is a 4-year postgraduate MD program, of which you will take part in full-time study, with the first years 1 and 2 taking place in Brisbane, Australia, as well as years 3 and 4 in New Orleans, Louisiana. Our medical graduates are eligible for ECFMG certification, which means that they will be eligible to practice in all 50 states in the United States, as well as to be able to practice in Australia if they so choose. This slide is an overview of the MD program. So in years 1, briefly, you will be taking part in 4 days of interdisciplinary learning and teaching, and you will have 1 day of the development of foundational clinical skills. In year 2, you will enhance your clinical skill involvement with 2 days of clinical skills and clinical immersions, including hospital outpatient, allied health, and GP settings. And then you will also have 3 days of interdisciplinary learning and teaching. In years 3 and 4, you will predominantly be in clinical immersions, with year-long courses that will include 1 day teaching and learning tutorials and 4 days of clinical experiences. Additionally, in the 3rd year, you will participate in a longitudinal scholarly project, which will be supervised by a UQ-Ochsner faculty member. And finally, in year 4, we have what is called the preparation for practice phase, whereby you will be immersed in the general practice rotation, a clinical extension, and an elective and critical care rotations before performing a pre-internship term at the end of the year prior to commencing residency. Here's a sampling of the learning experiences as part of the program. We have integrated symposia, whereby you will have expert faculty who will be able to teach you in an interactive fashion, which will consist of good patient examples, experiences with family or with community members and otherwise. We have a strong emphasis on team-based learning, which consists of pedagogical strategies that will engage student knowledge through individual testing and group collaboration. And practicals are another important aspect of our program, where we like to cement knowledge with highly interactive and hands-on learning experiences. All of this is going to enhance your clinical and professional learning and really provide an experience that's going to be prepare you for your role as a physician in future years. As far as research opportunities, which is a foundation of our medical training, both the University of Queensland and Ochsner Health have long traditions of academic excellence in scientific discovery. Students are eligible to apply for a master's degree if they would like to embark upon a Master of Philosophy degree, as well as an intercalated Doctor of Philosophy, which students have done in prior years of the program. Additionally, we do have the Ochsner Student Research Hub, whereby there are many opportunities that students can select from a variety of projects that are facilitated by our expert faculty. USMLE Preparation and Support is a very important part of our program, since most of our students go on to perform their residencies back in the United States. So this support starts very early in your career, as a student with Step 1 preparation, including resources that are provided, such as the USMLE Step 1 First Aid Book, the Boards and Beyond package, as well as the USMLE World Q Bank. These are all provided as part of the package we provide to students. Additionally, students will be able to perform MBME practice examinations to ensure that they are showing readiness for the USMLE STEP examinations. And then furthermore, the support continues as students embark upon the Step 2 preparation in the later years of their training. So this will comprise about 200 plus hours of instruction covering topics such as biochemistry, medical genetics, microbiology, pathology, and more. How do our students perform on the USMLE STEP examinations? Well, the answer to that is quite well. All students to date, which is over 1,000 students who have participated in the UQ-Ochsner MD program, we have an 89% first-time pass rate with an average score of 219. Since the cohort has gone to a pass-fail for Step 1, we have a 92% pass rate as of 2024 class, 85% for the 2025 class, and an 89% for the 2026 class. The success continues for Step 2, where we've had over a 90% passing rate for the last few years, with an average score in the high 230s and 240s. Furthermore, the program provides a plethora of support, which is not just academic, but also well-being support, which is a necessary component of any student's medical training. We have a strong component of the medical student support services, which throughout the 4 years can provide well-being and mental health counseling, coaching on time management and work-life balance, or also general advice about adjusting to Australia, as well as exam preparation and assignment support, and referral to specialists when necessary for counseling, disability support, accommodation, and otherwise. The academic support extends past the USMLE support through our Ochsner medical societies, and these society heads are faculty that are experts in advising and coaching, and they provide a strong learning community whereby students can feel well supported and integrated. And furthermore, there is significant peer support through our Ochsner Medical Student Association, as well as the UQMS or University of Queensland Medical Society, and particular interest groups that are student-led and are maintained throughout the course. How do our students match? Our graduates have been successful at securing residencies in highly competitive programs. In the past 10 cycles and more, students have performed exceptionally well in terms of the match. And as you can see, we boast typically over a 95% match rate in recent years, with the class of 2025 having a 97% match rate for US seniors, which as you can see exceeds the average match rate for US MD graduates, as well as for US DO graduates. And we also far surpassed the non-US IMG graduate match rate. For residency mentoring and advising, we are able to, through our society head system, counsel students on specialty and career choice. We counsel regarding match strategies, ensure that our students know the match timelines, and then we also involve our faculty in a number of mock interviews whereby students are able to practice for the residency matching interviews. And furthermore, we provide residency application advice on a detailed level. For our 2025 class, our matches have included several prestigious institutions, such as the Mayo Clinic in Arizona, Ochsner Health System, the Oregon Health and Science University, the University of Miami-Jackson Health System, and the University of Southern California. Students have matched also in a variety of specialties, which is an important part of a successful residency matching system, such as specialties like anesthesia, emergency medicine, general surgery, OBGYN, neurology, psychiatry, and vascular surgery. Here are some additional highlights for our matches, as you can see, for programs throughout the country in pediatrics, anesthesia, internal medicine, emergency medicine, psychiatry, and OBGYN. Not only do students match in competitive residencies, We do match in a variety of residency locations throughout the United States, from the coast of California all the way back over to the East Coast, as far east as Massachusetts. And once again, you can see that a 97% match rate is a key component of our success. How are doctors performing in the workplace? So we do rate our students according to the evaluations that we send to their residency programs. As you can see, for the class of 2022, we got a 61% response rate, and the overwhelming majority of our students ranked in the top 50% of their residency classes. Furthermore, over a 10-year period, from the classes of 2012 to the class of 2022, we had a 73% residency response rate, and 88% of our graduates ranked in the top 50% of their class. The reason for the data most recently coming from 2022 is that there is a delay in the residency response rates. Now I will turn it over to Sue Barras to talk about the entry requirements.
Well, thank you, Dr. Joseph. Hello, everyone. Let's talk about the entry requirements for this program. We do have citizenship requirements. We do require that you are a U.S. citizen or a U.S. permanent resident, and you may apply for our program. The UQ-Ochsner program is designed for U.S. residencies, so to practice medicine in the U.S. There is the ability to go to Australia as well, but it is designed for U.S. residencies. Our MCAT requirement is a 504 or higher. So if you have less than a 504, we would require that you retake the exam so that you can progress your application. You are able to apply to our program without having your MCAT score. You would simply upload a document stating that you intend to take your MCAT, and then you'd be able to submit your application. Another requirement is your GPA. We require an A or B average GPA, which is a 3.0 to 4.0 on our 4-point scale. UQ-Ochsner will look at your key degree for your GPA. So your key degree is your most recently obtained degree. This is not a comprehensive GPA calculation. It is only a GPA calculated on your most recently obtained degree, your key degree. We assume knowledge. So all pre-med students or those entering into, taking the MCAT and entering into med school, we have assumed knowledge of cell bio and systems physiology. However, if you need a refresher, UQ will be able to help you with an online learning program for that. The biggest part of our application process is the multiple mini interview. So this tests your personality. It's very holistic in that we are looking just at your personality during this interview. We learn about you just from you. We're testing you on domains such as kindness and compassion and communication skills. This will be 8 10-minute successive interviews all in a row, 10 minutes each. And they're all conducted via Zoom, so it will be online. The academic calendar year is different than the U.S. It runs from the end of January to the end of October. So it's sort of like the academic years, like the calendar year. We usually start in the end of January, beginning of February. There's a few breaks during the year, but you usually come home after the academic year's over and then return to Brisbane for second year. It is a very much holistic application process. So our application is just in-house online. It's free, which means since it's in-house, there's no secondary application, so no cost at all for any of this. You do not submit letters of recommendation. You do not submit a personal statement, and we do not require a resume with clinical experience. And you don't really have any course prerequisites, just assume knowledge of these 2 courses. You can start your application without the MCAT, and if you do have your MCAT, you just upload your score report. So very holistic process, easy application. So we do have fees. We do have a tuition fee, and that's about $67K. You are eligible to fill out the FAFSA for government loans. I will follow this slide up with this great slide. Ochsner offers funding. So this is the Ochsner's Physician Scholars Program. And that amount is the cost of third and fourth year tuition. So if you apply for this scholarship, you will receive that amount up front, which is intended to pay the cost of your third and fourth year tuition. And it is offered for these specialties that you see here. And it's in return, you will work for Ochsner for 5 years after finishing residency. Here's some facts about our cohort, our incoming class for this year, for January 2025. The gender is pretty much split 50-50, male-female. The average age of our students is 26 years old. The average MCAT is about a 510. And then for the key degree, about 22% of our class submitted the master's degree as their key degree. The others have submitted their bachelor's. That's all the information we have for you. We hope you find this helpful, but if you have any questions or would like further information, I'd encourage you to contact us. Our emails, addresses, and phone numbers are there for you, and you can also find them on the website.
It's not just us you can talk to either. You can also book a one-on-one chat with one of our current medical students to find out about their experiences studying in the program. They're happy to answer your questions too. You can also find great student stories by following our social channels, and I'd encourage you to go check those out. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in Brisbane and New Orleans soon.
Yes, thank you for your time, and I'll keep an eye out for your application.